Sometimes, the shortest sentence carries the heaviest truth. In a world flooded with noise, opinions, and endless chatter, we forget that clarity often comes in whispers. True wisdom doesn't ramble. It strikes. One line, if true enough, can stop you in your tracks, change your course, and echo in your decisions for decades. The Stoics knew this well. Their philosophy has endured for over 2,000 years, not because it filled libraries, but because it carved truths into stone. Simple, direct, and unforgettable. These aren't just clever phrases. They are weapons for the mind, cutting through confusion, shields for the soul, protecting you from chaos, and blueprints for peace, guiding you when the world loses its way. Each line you're about to hear is short, but it's built to endure a lifetime. It's not decoration. It's discipline. It's not a quote. It's a command for how to live. Marcus Aurelius didn't write to impress. He wrote to survive. Epictetus didn't preach for praise. He taught so others could endure. Seneca didn't theorize. He practiced. These men faced betrayal, poverty, exile, war, and loss, and left behind words that still hit harder than any modern self-help book. Ask yourself, which of these truths will follow you for the rest of your life? Which one speaks to your current battle, your private war, the weight you carry in silence? Stay with me until the end, because buried in these few lines is one truth that will strike something deep. Not because it's new, but because it's real. And when it lands, when it finds that sore spot you've tried to hide, it won't let you go. It will stay. It will sharpen you. It will free you. And maybe, just maybe, one line, just one, will be enough to change everything. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Marcus Aurelius wrote these words not as poetry but as armor. In a life surrounded by war, betrayal, illness, and the crushing weight of being emperor, he returned to this truth again and again. And so must we. There comes a moment, maybe many, when the world feels chaotic, uncertain, or even cruel. You lose a job. Someone lies to you. Life doesn't go as planned, and your instinct is to fight the storm. But the Stoics teach something radically different. Don't fight the storm. Master the sails. Epictetus, once a slave who later became one of the most revered philosophers in history, said, "First say to yourself what you would do, and then do what you have to do." He had no control over his birth, his bondage, or even his body. His leg was permanently crippled by a cruel master. But his mind, that was his kingdom, and within it, he ruled. You may not control what others say, or what the economy does, or how the years press into your body. But you do control your focus, your response, your discipline. And once you realize that's enough, it is enough, your suffering begins to transform. Seneca sharpened this insight when he said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How many nights have we lost sleep over events that never came? How many times have we feared a future that dissolved before it arrived? The Stoic mind doesn't just survive, it sees clearly. It says, here is what is happening, nothing more, nothing less. One of the most piercing Stoic truths comes from Epictetus again. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Let that settle. Your peace is traded every time you invest your worth in someone else's reaction, in praise, in possessions, or in circumstances beyond your reach. The more you grasp for the external, the more fragile your internal becomes. There's nothing soft about this truth. It's hard because it's honest. It demands you stop blaming and start building. It demands you stop waiting for the world to behave and start disciplining your mind to meet it head on. The Stoic doesn't avoid pain. He learns from it. He does not seek comfort. He becomes strong enough to stand in discomfort without breaking. It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Epictetus reminds us, the rain doesn't ruin your day. Your idea that it was supposed to be sunny does. The breakup doesn't destroy you. It's your belief that you needed that person to be whole. These judgments, when unquestioned, become our prison. But question them, and you walk free. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, said, "Man conquers the world by conquering himself." These are not the words of dreamers. They are the battle-tested conclusions of men who knew hardship intimately. Zeno lost everything in a shipwreck and found Stoicism in the wreckage. That's the lesson. Life breaks what's weak, but it reveals what's real. So when the chaos rises, when life spins beyond your command, these words stand as pillars. You have power over your mind, not outside events. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. They are not just quotes, they are anchors. In stillness or in crisis, they point you home. Because the greatest control is not over what happens next, but over who you become in response. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this, you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write this from a comfortable palace. He wrote it from within pressure most of us will never know. As Emperor of Rome, he faced plagues, wars, betrayal, and the death of children. Yet his greatest battle was always within. Not with the pain itself, but with what he told himself about the pain. This is where Stoicism becomes more than philosophy. It becomes a way to survive, to turn suffering into substance, to transmute pain into power. Because the Stoics never promised a painless life. They promised a powerful response to pain. Seneca understood this deeply. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. He was exiled by a jealous emperor, surrounded by political corruption, and ultimately ordered to take his own life. But through it all, he trained his mind like a soldier trains his body. Pain was not an enemy, it was a forge, and from it, strength emerged. The modern mind flinches at hardship, but the Stoic mind expects it, welcomes it, uses it. Not masochism, mastery. The difference is everything, because when pain hits, most people collapse or complain. But the Stoic takes a breath, holds the ground, and answers with action. The pain becomes purpose. Epictetus, a man born into slavery and crippled by abuse, declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself." He knew the deepest prison is not physical. It's emotional chaos. It's being ruled by what hurts. Stoicism isn't about suppressing pain. It's about seeing it clearly, feeling it fully, and refusing to be ruled by it. There's a moment every person faces, the moment when life strips away comfort, certainty, or love. And in that moment, there are only two choices: sink into self-pity or stand in self-possession. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men." The Stoic does not fear that test. He welcomes it as the measure of who he is. Gold is not weakened by fire, it's purified by it. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. These words aren't just poetic, they're practical. Calmness is a weapon. While others panic, you prepare. While others rage, you reason. While others collapse, you continue. Misfortune thrives on your reaction, but when you rob it of that reaction, you rob it of its power. And perhaps the most liberating line of all, He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. Fear of pain, of loss, of death, it cages the spirit. But when you remove that fear, even life's harshest blows cannot break you. You act boldly. You speak truth. You endure suffering, not with bitterness, but with a silent kind of power the world cannot explain. These truths are not for the faint-hearted. They are heavy, sharp, demanding, but they leave behind something rare in today's world. Resilience, not surface-level toughness, but deep-rooted strength. The kind that doesn't need to shout, the kind that survives heartbreak, failure, betrayal, and walks forward anyway. So remember these lines, not just as quotes, but as commands for when the world tests you. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. No man is free who is not master of himself. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. Etch them into your daily life. Write them on the walls of your thoughts. Because when pain returns, and it always does, these words won't just comfort you, they'll carry you. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life, Epictetus said. Not the freedom to indulge, escape, or drift, but the freedom to master yourself. In a world where people chase validation, luxury, and constant distraction, Stoicism whispers a sharper truth. The less you need, the more powerful you become. This kind of freedom is not glamorous. It doesn't scream or shine. It's not on magazine covers. It's in the quiet decisions you make when no one is watching. When you say no to temptation. When you let go of the fight. When you walk away with your dignity intact. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus never needed a palace to feel rich. He understood what modern minds forget, that chasing excess creates emptiness. The more you want, the more control the world has over you. But when you reduce your wants to what you can govern, your character, your effort, your peace, you become unshakable. We're told to dream bigger, get more, reach higher. But Epictetus teaches a different kind of ascent. Upward not through ambition, but through detachment, through clarity, through reducing the clutter inside your soul. He's a wise man who does not grieve for the things he has not, but rejoices for those he has. Gratitude is not weakness. It is strength of perception. It's the ability to see what remains, not what's missing. In grief, gratitude is your lifeline. In scarcity, it's your wealth. In loss, it's your anchor. Discipline and detachment go hand in hand. To detach is not to stop caring. It is to stop clinging. Stoicism trains the mind to hold things lightly, people, success, praise, because nothing lasts. And trying to hold on too tightly is what creates suffering. Discipline is the practice of letting go, again and again, until peace becomes your habit. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor surrounded by betrayal, didn't seek to retaliate. He rose above. He chose integrity over impulse, and in doing so, he proved the most powerful person in the room is the one who remains unmoved. When someone wrongs you, your reaction is your reputation. Choose silence over spite. Choose standards over surrender. He who angers you, conquers you. Though not a Stoic, Elizabeth Kenny voiced a truth the Stoics lived by. When you let someone else dictate your emotions, they own a piece of you. But when you pause, breathe, and remain calm in chaos, you remain sovereign. Your mind becomes your fortress. Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings. Seneca wrote, "The more pain you endure, the more you learn what is truly worth saying, and what is better, left unsaid." Silence becomes wisdom. It becomes restraint. It becomes discipline in its highest form. Stoicism, is not about feeling nothing. It's about feeling everything and not being ruled by any of it. Detachment doesn't make you cold. It makes you clear. Discipline doesn't make you rigid. It makes you real. Together, they form the foundation of inner freedom. Imagine the strength of a person who needs nothing from anyone, who does not flinch in insult, rush in crisis, or crumble under rejection. That person is rare, and that person is free. Detachment tells you, I do not need to own it to appreciate it. I do not need to react to acknowledge it. I do not need to control it to remain calm. Discipline tells you, I will choose what is hard, because it sharpens me. I will delay gratification, because it frees me. I will endure discomfort, because it strengthens me. So when the world tries to seduce you with more, flatter you with lies, or provoke you with drama, return to these words. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things he has not, but rejoices for those he has. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. He who angers you conquers you. Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings. These are not just quotes. They are shields. They are reminders of what true strength looks like. Not loud, not showy, but calm, clear, controlled. In a world addicted to reaction, Stoicism is resistance. In a world addicted to wanting, Stoicism is enough. And in a world addicted to noise, Stoicism is silence, chosen, cultivated, and powerful beyond measure. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. Marcus Aurelius. Some quotes hit the mind, others hit the soul. This is the moment in the Stoic journey where these quotes stop being words and become laws. Not laws written in books, but carved into your way of life. Not intellectual points to ponder, but anchors for how you rise, walk, act, and endure. They don't ask you to believe. They demand you to change. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. Marcus Aurelius. This quote burns because it reveals how much time we throw away watching others, judging others, worrying about others, gossip, comparison, envy. All of it is soul waste. Marcus doesn't say cut back. He says don't waste what remains. Your time is vanishing. Every minute you think about their life is a minute stolen from your own. The law. Mind your own becoming. Live as if you were living already for the second time. Viktor Frankl. This one isn't from a Stoic, but it might as well be. Frankl, who survived the Holocaust, understood suffering in a way most people can't imagine. His message was this: live like you already messed this life up once, like you were given a second chance. Imagine the clarity that would give you, the focus, the urgency, the forgiveness. That's Stoicism in its rawest form. Regret turned into resolve. The law. Don't live like you have time to waste. The obstacle is the way. Marcus Aurelius. This is no longer a slogan. It's survival code. You don't escape your problems by going around them. You grow by walking through them. The Stoic does not avoid hardship. He makes hardship his teacher. When things go wrong, most people ask, why me? The Stoic asks, what now? The law. What blocks the path is the path. Time is like a river made up of the events which happen. Marcus Aurelius. You cannot grab the same water twice. It flows, always. So does your life. Every event, good or bad, flows into the next. No rewind button, no pause. just a stream you can't stop, but must learn to swim in. This quote shatters illusion. You thought you had more time. You thought you'd get to it later. But the river does not wait. The law, flow with time, or be swept away by it. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Seneca. Stop waiting. Stop preparing. Stop planning the right time. Seneca reminds us that each day is a complete life, a beginning and an end. And if today was all you had, what would you do differently? Who would you forgive? What would you stop tolerating? The law. Treat today like your only life, because it might be. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. This is the Stoic mic drop. Enough with the talk. Enough with the theorizing. Be good. Be disciplined. Be noble. The Stoic doesn't announce virtue. He lives it. He doesn't perform morality. He breathes it in silence. This quote strips away excuses. You already know what you need to do. Now do it. The law. Be what you admire. Live what you preach. These quotes are more than reflections. They are commands from the past, forged in fire, meant to shape your future. They don't just tell you how to think. They tell you how to live, how to act, how to endure, how to walk through storms with grace. And once these become part of your soul, you change. You stop scrolling to escape and start sitting with discomfort. You stop overthinking and start doing. You stop being pulled by the chaos of others and anchor yourself in self-discipline. These aren't motivational quotes. They are the bricks of a new inner empire, built on clarity, courage, and character. Now it's your turn. Don't just nod. Don't just highlight these. Burn them into your routines, into your posture, into how you speak, into how you leave, how you love, and how you endure. You don't need more time. You need more truth. And these are your truths. Mind your own becoming. Don't live like you have time to waste. What blocks the path is the path. Flow with time, or be swept away. Treat today like your only life. Be what you admire. After this moment, you don't just understand Stoicism. You begin to live it. Just that you do the right thing. The rest does not matter. Marcus Aurelius. At some point in this journey, one quote didn't just resonate, it landed. It was the sentence that silenced your overthinking, the line that cut through the noise, the truth that stayed long after the scroll ended. Maybe it was about control. Maybe it was about discipline. Maybe it was about pain or time or purpose. But one of them stuck. You are not the same man who pressed play. Something in you shifted. Even if just a degree, that's enough. Because over time, one degree of change alters the entire trajectory of your life. This is the moment to pause, not to rush to the next thing, not to collect more quotes like trophies, but to choose. Choose the quote that found you, the one that felt written for you, the one that whispered, "This is what you've needed to hear for a long time." Let it guide your next action. Let it steady your breath. Let it pull you back to clarity when the world tries to spin you. And remember Marcus's words, just that you do the right thing. The rest does not matter. Don't seek applause. Don't fear judgment. Don't overanalyze outcomes. Just do the right thing. Quietly, consistently, courageously. That is the Stoic way. Comment, "My quota chose me," and share the one that hit you hardest. Someone out there might need that exact line to wake up. Share this with a friend who is buried in noise and needs one clear signal, one anchor. Because these are not just clever words. They are ancient instructions for a life of calm, purpose, and unbreakable strength. And now, they're yours.